What's up with y'all chosen family? I hope all is real with the the chosen seeds, man. The ones that are implanted to grow and keep growing because you need your energy in this world, y'all. You don't have to believe this, but you need your energy, y'all. It's vital. It gives you strength. I tell you, man, that without your life force, y'all, you are less of a man. And for a woman as well, y'all, a woman, most women in this world, y'all, they crave validation or they want, you know, attention from other people. But when you love yourself, y'all, you don't give a fuck about what anyone thinks about you because you're not desperate. People who act like that, y'all, are they're radiating off of, lack. So when you lack, y'all, you attract that, y'all. That's why you can't lack. Not saying materialistically wise, y'all, but you can't lack the mindset of knowing that you feel like you are not enough, y'all. God or the creation, has made everybody in their own way. So that's why you must do what you want to do and live the way you want to live, y'all. People will respect it or people will not. But you're not here to make them, look at you differently, y'all. You're here to change the world by changing your reality. But before I start this video, I just want to say, I hope y'all are doing well, man. And I hope y'all are, living light, feeling bright, y'all. Because you are a walk in the park, y'all. You are a sun. And wherever you go, y'all, you give that bitch life, you are life, y'all. That's why it only takes for you to look at somebody, y'all, for them to feel recharged or to feel good about themselves, y'all. Because they might treat you like a celebrity, or they might look at you like someone who has this domain or this power. Because, the energy you give off, it feels like it's ancient, or there's some kind of, heroic wisdom behind that. But all of this is because you live with purity, y'all. You chose to live a good reality. You didn't choose to live for others. You didn't choose to beg. You chose to be, to stay, and to just, accept, y'all. If you truly want to be somebody with power, y'all, learn the law of acceptance, y'all. Accept what is given to you and accept what's thrown at you, y'all. Because when you accept it for what it is, y'all, then how can you be breakable, y'all? You're not trying to be breakable, y'all. You're trying to be unbreakable. Because this world's trying to break you or you're building. They always tell you that when you eventually become somebody or you start building your life up, y'all, you will get attacks sent your way. You will get, tests sent your way. It's the world trying to crack your windshield because there's nothing on it, y'all. There's literally no debris. There's no dust. There's no rain. It's just see-through. That's you. It's tunnel vision, y'all. You are seeing through everything and still shining. But this video, y'all, I wanted to talk about protection. So let's talk about it, y'all. For a chosen one, y'all, you get attacks sent your way, and this is a spiritual war. So when I say that it's a battle, y'all, it's a battle versus the ones with spirit versus the ones with flesh, y'all. If you know how to tame your energy, if you know how to work with your energy, if you know how to control your energy, well, you are living in a higher dimension or a higher realm of consciousness than most people on this planet. Because while you are looking at them for who they can be and for how they treat others, y'all, a lot of people are looking at you for who you look like. What do you do? How much money can you offer them? So while you're looking at the light that may be trying to come out of them, right? They're looking at you physically wise. They're looking at what they can get from you. They're looking at how can you help them and make their life better. That's surfacely, y'all. But it's up to you. It's up to you, family, to choose what lifestyle you want to live. You could live 95% of on that surface level like other people around you. Or you can vibrate higher, live in spirit. And choose your energy. My bad for that, family. But I'm not gonna, just shadow or walk away from what the fuck's being in front of my face, y'all, because you must face every battle, y'all, with your mind. That's how you make your mind stronger, y'all, by sitting in the pain, the agony, the fire. But back to what I was saying, y'all. Protection, y'all. This is a spiritual battle, y'all. People are not gonna try to fight you in the flesh if you're up in the spirit, because they don't even want to be around you. They're gonna avoid you. So it's not that your spirit is tapped in more so than theirs. Yes, we know that. but it's more so that they love living on the surface. You love trying to figure out what's the meaning behind life, y'all. You can only do two things. You're either gonna live in the surface, live in the moment, choose temporary things, or you're gonna always crave something depth, something deep, something scarce, something that may be hard to find, but when you find it, y'all, you endlessly want to keep searching deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like never reaching the bottom of a sea, but every time you get to a specific point, you find something that you may have never knew, but it's just what exactly is keeping you on this journey. So protection, y'all, you were gifted with protection, chosen one. And for the ones that don't respect themselves, give their energy away to things that are not helping them, the universe doesn't respect you, because the once respect you had within you when you came down here, when you snatched it out of your own body or existence by partaking in things that you knew you meant were not supposed to do, but you do them anyway because you, like I said, most people live trying to experience these feelings, these experiences. But a wise soul like myself, y'all, just wants to elevate and wants to keep shining, keep rising. So their protection is cut off. That's why you can see someone go to the store, y'all, they get robbed or they get shot. Because the energy that you were walking with, y'all, people didn't like that energy. You were given enough energy of evilness, of demonicness. And that's why people will just randomly shoot you, or they don't want to be around your ass, y'all. Because they're not looking at your body, y'all. Your energy that's emitting from the body is what they peep. That's exactly why you can see an ugly motherfucker physically, y'all, pull your girlfriend and she's a 10 out of 10 if he has so much energy. Because women, they're not really caring for how you look, y'all. They want what's inside of you. They want what's giving them, a feeling that not everybody else can give them, y'all. True feminine women, y'all, are exaggerating and exactly craving true masculinity, which is a being who's not showing who they are, a being who is just living in acceptance, who's just, quiet and trying to become somebody. Because you're leading with purpose, not with feelings or pleasures. You don't give a fuck about that shit, y'all. Life's too short to live that way. We only live for we don't even live 100 years guaranteed, y'all. So are you really gonna waste your 20s, your 30s, and your 40s fucking around when you could have been elevating, y'all? And even if it doesn't matter, because you might die one day, or that's how you might look at it. You want to live knowing you feel good about your life experience, y'all. You don't want to live in hell, because when you're in hell, y'all, you're gonna attract people who are in hell with you. And that's why relationships aren't 100 nowadays. That's why most likely y'all won't even last a good couple months, y'all. Because this world isn't designed for y'all to last a couple months, y'all. This world wants you to die and separate now. You know what I'm saying, y'all? So back to what I was saying, the protection. For the ones who live on the surface, y'all, they love carrying these guns, or they love having these weapons, or they love trying to show it and shit. I once partook in that, not because I was afraid or I lacked anything, but because we all looked at it like that was cool. But that was validation we were seeking, y'all, because our ego wanted to feel like a king. But you're not a king in your ego, y'all. You're only a king or a queen when you detach from the ego and still move with success, because you're not letting your ego to judge you, or you're not allowing that other being within you to feel like other people gotta validate you for you to feel superior. When you truly move like a king or a queen, y'all, you're not gonna get that, because people are gonna be inspired by you too much to want to tell you anything, or they're gonna envy the fuck out of you because they see you doing something that they can't do, And that's why when you go to the gym, y'all, you will have all these women that are fucking with you, eye on you like candy. It gets scary, because now you must ask yourself, yes, you may love the attention, but is it worth losing your energy? Because once it's gone, y'all, it's gone, and you gotta restart. And I'm not talking for the people who've been on this shit for a week or two. I'm talking about for the people who've been on this shit for 6 months, 3 to 6 months plus, or even years. Because you know what it feels like to walk around feeling like you are walking on eggshells, man. You feel like you are literally high all day without anything, because that's the way the Most High has made us. It's just you're not feeling that because you're not treating your body with respect like you should. But this was the video, family. the chosen ones, we don't need that, but we can't obtain that if you want it. If you want a gun, you want a weapon, you want something, you can have that. Because the Most High is going to give you whatever it is you want, if it's for you. But naturally, we have a barrier or a domain, which Gojo, they call it infinity. I call it aura. I call it presence. I call it light. Because light is built by the force that you are going against. You are forcing yourself to build light within because it takes force instead of desire. You're not acting out of desire. You're choosing adaptability with durability, because you're building your body to become more durable the moment you live with force instead of, desire. If you don't get this, you will one day, because your brain and your enhancements will increase the moment you take your energy back. And that's why I glow without trying. That's why women love me. That's why men respect me. That's why a lot of people talk to me. That's exactly why I really don't get hate. Because even if it's hate, there's still inspiration from afar. I'm not trying to inspire you. I'm trying to reveal to you what's your trump card. So when it comes down for warfare, or when it comes down to live long, let's just say longevity was, you want to be already put that bitch down, uno, and win. But this was a video, family. I'm going to get down this in another video, another topic, but get deeper with it, because people who live surfacely, y'all, they lack the aura because it's not felt by others. That's why they cause harm to you, or that's why they could disrespect you or try to walk on you. But if you have that light within you, they're going to avoid you or they're going to love you. But only you will know the moment you live with this journey. I say, man, I see y'all.